Well, today hasn't started out so great. The concrete mixer has a flat, and I can't get the bead to seat, so there's a deformation in the rim. I'm just going to try to hammer it out and see if I can get it to seat, but it's not taking any air. Alright, so my poor wife got pretty burned yesterday from working in the sun, so I decided that we should try to make a small shelter, and we'll just keep moving the tractor around with the shade shelter. So we have some 24-foot pieces of fence. We'll wrap it and bolt it to this and do all the things it says you're not supposed to do and work underneath of it. So, worth it, right?
Ginger's gotta do what Ginger's gotta do.
What we're doing here is trying to use the free horse pasture fence that the landlord already had, but we also wanted to make sure that it could be turned back into horse pasture fence when we moved out. So the solution was installing fence post sleeves that we could sink into concrete, and that would allow the top to be easily removed in the future.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday was pretty productive, yeah. So this will be day 3 that we're starting today. The first day, because it took so long to get stuff from everywhere, we only had a couple hours to work, and we were still very productive then.
That was Friday.
That was Friday, and then yesterday was Saturday, and we had 3 other friends come over, and they helped out quite a bit, and we got a lot more done. Things that are kind of unique to this is we have some posts that require precision, so that only means that we can pour one and then, half of it, and then wait a day before we can put the other one up. So, and we don't want to put stress on the next gate until the concrete is dry, because that could affect that. Because we're not really pressed for time, we do one, let it sit a day, and do the next. We might be able to pour this next one at the end of the day. We'll see how things go with the rest of our work. But we've got the big gate in and set, and that pull, which was really difficult. That chewed up a good part of yesterday, getting that prepared and cutting off parts of it that belonged to another
That was definitely
gate.
A 3-person job. So having 5 people was great.
Yeah, it made that great. They also pulled off the existing chain link fence that's close to the house, which is a real pain in the butt. Really glad they did it. Today, the goal is to get another one of these horse pins set. Like I said, maybe another one at the end of the day. And then we've got a gate that we need to set that's down by the shipping container. Another gate, the one that we'll use to go in and out of it. Now, the big 18-foot gate that we set yesterday is really not something we plan on using, but we wanted to give ourselves a big drive-in gate so we could still get large equipment down there. But the gate that we're about to set is only a 6-foot opening, so we couldn't get big equipment in there. It's going to be clamped shut for security, as well as to stabilize it, so it's not just going to have normal gate hardware on it. It's going to be bolted like a clamp piece, but should we need to get into it, we'll unbolt a couple pieces and then it'll swing open. With that being said, it's time to get to work. Of course, we have our shade set up again today, which is really helpful, even though it's only about 71 right now.
Only.
71 is nice,
no,
but
the breeze is nice. The sun is brutal. Make sure you're wearing your sunscreen. You've got your water. It's really easy to dehydrate and get a really bad headache
Yeah.
while you're working in the sun and not realize it when the temperature is cool enough to keep your body temperature low.
And I ended up with a really bad headache yesterday at the end of the day, so.
Avoid all that.
Dug these up so I know where they are. Glad I did, because I put a hole right next to it you can see over there. After we finished this gate up, it was time to cool down and wait for the afternoon temperatures to drop. It's hard work. Really hard work. All right, we're on day 4 of the gate build. Last night we got, we're kind of wrapping up a lot of the critical stuff. What I mean by that is the way we're doing and sleeving the existing horse fence that we have, you can only really put up one section at a time until the concrete's dry. It's really the only way to get it accurate enough. You know, you can try to slap it together, but it might lean or fall over or move on you. So we're doing them one section at a time till the concrete dries. But we have other stuff that we do. We don't just wait for that. Got a few more poles in. We got the other gate mounted down, the one we're going to be using to go in and out of the goat pin. And then we have one last section here to do, and then one other pole for an access gate to our backyards. Hopefully that will wrap up the concrete pouring for now. We also got up really early this morning. I was up at 5, but we started really moving at 6. So it's a little after 7, and we're trying to do that because it's starting to get hotter in the middle of the day. So we're hoping we can put in a few hours in the morning and then a few hours at night. But we are night owls, so this is not what we're used to. Yay! Okay, here we go.
Now this is where you really start to see the over-engineering show up. We were not sure how much stress the goats or future livestock might put on the fence, so we added cross bracing to all the fencing, which really drove the cost up of the fence. It also added a lot of time since each cross brace had to be measured and cut to size. So this was a little bit of a surprise. The neighbor who was building his house accidentally set fire to his property while welding his fence. Luckily, the Los Angeles Fire Department takes these threats very seriously and scrambled 3 helicopters. They were able to get the blaze under control before it spread to our property, which is awesome, so thanks again, LAFD, you guys rock. And with that, we'll end this episode, so stay tuned for part 3 where we start installing the no-climb fence as well as the no-dig. And always, thanks again for watching, and please consider subscribing if you're not already.
All right, we're on day 4. Oh, hang on. Meow, meow, meow.